Okay, so I think just a contextual, I mean, you asked the question, a company of horizon, pretty large, pretty complex, what do you really do? I mean, at the end of the day, I will copy the previous speaker, Anu George. It's really change management, right? At the end of the day, you're driving change. And you may be driving a car, the one day you didn't have a driver license, the next day you have a driver license. That's a change, right? You learn how to drive. So the vehicle you drove, maybe a Tesla, somebody was telling me in the lunchtime, or a Toyota Prius, or an old beat up truck, that's all you have, right? But the point is that that car or that vehicle is a vehicle for change. So what we're going to talk about today, a bunch of stuff that we do in Verizon. And I will not talk about the 5G. So that would be too technical, right, for me at least. So think of this way. So you can't make a good dinner without good content and a good recipe, unless you're a pro chef, you know how to cook every day. So we're going to talk about some of the recipe discussion here, not the content. We're not talking the meats and potatoes or the 5G or the network or the technology, all the stuff. We talk about the processes. So when we talk about processes, you ask the question, so how many buzzwords we have heard in the last 10 years? In 2001, the new buzzword is Agile, right? 1995, Lean Six Sigma, or Six Sigma. Then we added Lean around 2001 to Lean Six Sigma. Before that, in 1960s, before I was born, Plan, Do, Check, Act by Deming, right? So how many of you have employed a lot of different consultants to come and bad mouth, that was bad, let me fix the new thing? So I can guarantee you, the Lean Six Sigma will be called some different name in a couple of years from today, right? Now Agile is not good enough. Now it is called Lean-Agile. Then the godfather of Agile, if you are interested, Scrum, the method of Scrum, Jeffrey Sutherland. If you read his book, it's a nice red book, you can buy it for $10, $15. He talks about nothing but plan, do, check out, every page. So I will proclaim all of you guys, by virtue of your process excellence background, are Agile experts. If you don't believe me, you can leave now. You have to believe that. Because what I'm going to link up in this presentation, how all these things are connected. They're not different from. We create partitions, we create confusion, and like the previous speaker talked about, how do you honor the past so you can go to the future? So with that contextual background, let me quickly go to some slides, then we will just have a dialogue. So why transformation? Every company, including our own company, is going through massive changes in the industry right now, right? The cell phone bills have dropped, right? Are you guys enjoying the reduced prices? When I came to this country a long time ago, it was 12 cents to call in US per minute. In 2000, I was paying $0. I was paying 2 cents to call Canada. I paid $3.63 to call India at my parents for 1 minute. In 1988, 1989. In 2000, I was paying like 12 or 15 cents. So today, the same phenomenon is going on the pricing, right? The cell phone pricing. So the 5G comes, there will be quantum change, different pricing that will happen. So we live in a world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Nothing new that you don't know. It's not the smartest who survives, right? It is the guy who figures out how to adapt survives. The tools, techniques, the things I'm going to talk to you right now for next few minutes is nothing but help you to adapt the situation better. That's all it is. At the end of the day, when you fix something, when you improve something, who creates the solution? When you fix something, you improve something, who creates the solution? Is there a machine that creates a solution? Not yet. Maybe one day robotics and AI will come, but not yet. So you, the people, create the solution, right? So when you are creating a solution, are you innovating? Small scale, large scale, depends. but you are innovating in that fixing, improving stuff, right? So you can have a great root cause analysis, great problem definition, we'll come talk about it. But if you can't have that people, the right people coming to the solution, it doesn't matter. So what I'm trying to say is, you have to be able to adapt to the situation, and to adapt, all we are doing is giving you tools, techniques how to adapt. You have seen all these companies before, right? And what is interesting, every company goes through the same questions, same answers. The few who survive, they basically listen more. Because some of the industry in the telecommunication that I'm part of today, I spent a lot of time in General Electric in multiple businesses before I went to Verizon. AT&T and some of the big corporations, we proclaimed T-Mobile will be out of business by 2014. Which year is this now? Anybody use T-Mobile? Raise your hand, it's okay. Same question people ask for Kodak, same people ask for taxi industries. It is no different. And what is funny is, you even probably know the answer. So the question is, can you execute the answer? Accepting the answer is so difficult. It sounds silly, extremely difficult. So who is left? All the companies you saw, this is only left. And somebody told me, probably a couple of years old later now, average S&P 500 company lives what? 75 years in 1980s, 1960s. They live 15 years today. But this is a couple of years old story. So maybe as the time progresses, the company will last 10, 12 years. What I'm trying to tell you, forget the company for a second, you need to be really adaptable so that you can make a living in different companies, different industries, and different situations. So I'm just going fast to, so this is a great metaphor we stole. The butterfly is a transformation, right? A bigger caterpillar is not. So if you think of this metaphor, what is really means by transformation? Something different. You are evolving to be something different. So if you take that, this is very similar to some of the talk Ms. George was discussing with Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and whatnot, other pictures he had. You really need to ask the question, what is the sense of urgency? What's the guiding coalition? What's the vision? What's the communication? Do you have empowerment, short-term win, consolidating improvement, introducing new approaches? In Verizon, we started the Lean Six Sigma journey in 2012, for the first time in the history of the company. Anybody work in an industrial company? Please raise your hands. Industrial company, hardcore industrial. You guys have been doing continuous improvement since 1950s, 1940s, whenever the company started. But many companies, sounds easy, don't have that kind of mindset. You guys know who invented control charts, right? Bell Labs, right? And Bell Labs is part of which company? AT&T, right? Where did Verizon come from? AT&T, right? So I make fun. I said, we invented Six Sigma. What is control chart? Basically, the control chart theory is the essence of Six Sigma. Yet, we have forgotten the things we knew. So what I'm trying to tell you, over time, in the name of different name, different song and dance, we forget the core principles. What I'm trying to emphasize continually, honor the past, learn what is the core strength, and take that to the future. So what we have done in Verizon, when we started in 2012, we started with these two things, Lean Six Sigma and change leadership. Very essential core stuff. We didn't try to make anything new. We simply copied what is available in the industry. That's all we did. Now we added a V before Lean Six Sigma to call it Verizon Lean Six Sigma. So we get it ours, but except that, it's pretty much same stuff, right? Pretty much same stuff. We did a little bit of business process management, but you asked the question, if the business is ready for business process management. Strategy. This is all different kind of education we do in the Verizon and coaching, mentoring that goes along with that. Then design thinking and enterprise agility. When we say enterprise agility, we don't mean by IT only. It's a business agility. So what we do, the team we have, looks at this kind of themes across the enterprise. The way I'm going to articulate, these are not separate silos. These are basically problem-solving techniques. That's all it is. So think for a second. If you have a known process or a known product, you have a problem there. Do you need to spend a lot of time debating customer empathy, strategy, all the stuff? No, you need to go fix it. You do basic Lean Six Sigma stuff or even basic Lean stuff. If you're fighting with your wife or your spouse or your customer all the time, same kind of problems, well, how do you fix it? You're not going to apply Lean Six Sigma to that. You're going to get empathy, understand, somebody said, you have to feel the customer, how the customer feels, right? Some of us are good, some of us are not so good. Well, that's your design thinking. People say, if you do Agile, you'll be faster. How many guys heard that? Anybody heard that? If you do Agile, you'll be faster? Not true? If somebody doesn't believe it, okay. Now, but maybe you don't know doing Lean Agile. The way to articulate, I ran a software business for 4 years before I came to Verizon. So I did practice, not just talking, reading books. You get faster because you're not creating a lot of crap. You're not creating a lot of waste. That's why you're faster. The core essence you're doing is not really that fast. You can just maybe slightly faster. But by eliminating waste from the day one, you are creating the faster execution. Okay? So if you're eliminating waste, did you not learn that in Lean principles in Toyota production systems? Think for a second. So that is the essence. Now how do you do waste elimination? By a lot of collaboration. In a big corporation, you can't do yourself anyway. If you're collaborating, can you really collaborate without having a good trust with each other? Can you put a project plan and execute a trust factor? You can't. It's empathy, trust, getting to know each other, working boundaryless. So the question is, all these things I'm talking about is nothing new. There's a book on boundaryless organization in the 1980s published. Doing is so challenging. So when we talk about business agility, we believe this includes Lean Six Sigma, Lean piece, customer empathy, the design thinking piece, sometimes overall end-to-end thinking, business process management, they're all combined together. The one thing that Harvard will tell you, if you go to Harvard for any education, people can't innovate because they can't define the problem. There's some truth in it. Which school you went to, which company you work for, which spouse you pick, which property you bought, which city, where you invest your money on. If you think of that, it's all defining the problem. And that has a lasting impact many things you do after that. It's very clear what Einstein said. Basically says, I will solve the problem in 5 minutes. Spend more time defining the project. We do strategic choices. The process we follow is a Playing to Win by Roger Martin and A.G. Lafley. It's a great book. You can follow that. And I'm going to go a little bit faster here. We look at end-to-end view, but not enough. We are mostly, I will say where we are, we end up in deliver silo, or sell silo, or market silo. And it's very difficult to connect all the dots at a company of 130 billion. It's not that easy because we have so many competing factors. But we take the opportunity to think about a holistic approach the best we can. And I'm going to give you a very quick snapshot here. We basically are using Stanford's design thinking as our basic design thinking platform. It's a 5-step process: empathy, define, ideate, prototype, test. And if you think of Agile, you think of design thinking that's so connected, you can immediately imagine that. Yet, People don't try to say what is design thinking, what's agile, what's lean agile, what's lean Six Sigma. Again, they're all connected. They're not different things. And we do highly encourage prototyping, getting feedback, and Verizon is mostly becoming a software company, more a content company as we go forward. Not so much network. You don't even see the network anyway, because the network is ugly. Lines, wires, boxes, blinking lights, right? Business agility, I mean, we talked about that already. It's the only thing I'm going to focus is the collaboration. If you really trust somebody, think how smooth things are. If somebody offends you, somebody made a dumb comment, if you trust somebody, do you really take that to heart? Probably not. Because you know the person. I made a mistake or something, a stupid thing. Let's see. When you don't trust somebody, what happens? A lot of energy wasted. Completely unreal. So, in a change management, which is basically 101, how do you drive change? Do you really trust people? Do people trust you? You can't do agile without a good, trusting, collaborative relationship. And the classic paradigm of Six Sigma, we still continue. We have yet to find a different model that is better than Six Sigma, period. It's a Six Sigma, lean Six Sigma, period. And David Cody from Honeywell will attest to that. One of the most cherished CEO of the modern century, last 10 years. Culture, I mean, culture is not something you fix. It is what you get after you implement new processes to tackle the challenges. So really, I mean, we always say the leadership is the culture, people is the culture, we have the old baggage is the culture. But look at the companies that have transformed. It is the people who are transforming every day. Yes, the leadership is guiding, no doubt. But it is the people and practicing all the time. And our goal is to deliver the promise of the digital world, maybe drones, maybe robotics, maybe cell phones, next-gen connectivity, platforms and solutions. To do that, we need to bring all this kind of tools and technique to help our people to adapt to change. And a very simplistic format, if you look at a whole business, how all these things come together, it's really, you need to make a decision, decide a product or develop a product, sell it, and maintain it, improve it continuously. If you look at the framework, you have strategy, tools, technique in the left hand, design thinking, agile in the middle, and lean Six Sigma, change, continuous improvement on the right. So it gives you a holistic framework, and again I will say the tools, techniques are there to help us, but it is the teamwork, collaboration, and that mindset that drives the change. I think my time is up. I think that's my last slide. Thank you.